technology, we commonly use the term moonshot goals, which is something that you are not capable of accomplishing right now. You're setting an audacious dream, knowing that you don't yet have the skills or capabilities or resources to accomplish it, and committing to it anyway, and then reverse engineering the steps necessary to get there.
I'm making this video on my Social Explosion YouTube channel in regards to the direction I'd like to go with my Footage Factory YouTube channel and other supporting YouTube channels. It's basically being made for Brian, my YouTube coach, collaborators, people who maybe want to invest, or viewers who'd like to watch from the bleachers but still be involved. One of the things I've noticed about YouTube is that you can quickly get into a hamster wheel of just spinning your wheels, trying your hardest, and getting nowhere. I watch a lot of the top guys on YouTube, but there's only a handful of them who are just really excelling. And I'm thinking to myself, what is it that these guys are doing? And not necessarily what are they doing right now, but how are they turning the corner? Because I can chase them. I can chase my tail. If I can get to the next stage at the same time they do or before they do, the next topic, the next way of doing YouTube, because I know YouTube's going to be evolving next quarter, next year. And if I just focus on motorcycles, and I apologize, I was having you review my channel as a motorcycle motorsports channel, and that's not what my channel is. I apologize, but let me really dial down to what I'm trying to do with my YouTube. I think in order to get a good idea of the direction I want to go with my YouTube channel, I have to give a little bit of the history. And I'll read it straight from the About from Footage Factory. I started it October 30th of 2009. I was in college, Chico State, with my business degree marketing. And I didn't know what I was trying to do. In fact, the name of the channel wasn't Footage Factory at the time. It was America's Top Rifle, because I was recently out of the military. I was building up a collection of firearms. And I thought, this is so cool. They got these guys on this new channel called YouTube. And I had no idea what I was doing. About a year into this, while in marketing school, I realized this could be monetized. And I monetized it at the moment. I was making a penny a day. Couldn't believe it. My friends said, you're stupid. That's not going to make any money. Well, I started making about $200 a month being monetized. I couldn't believe it. I stopped doing YouTube and I put my America's Top Rifle YouTube channel on ice while I worked for my sales rep position at Michelin Tire. That's when YouTube started to really grow, and I was paying no attention to it whatsoever. Well, when I was working for Michelin, I was doing some really interesting things. I was traveling some crazy places. I was going to car shows. I was going to Vegas with the ability to go to SEMA, Mercedes. I was going to races. And my uncle said to me, why don't you have another YouTube channel where you show all the cool things you do? And I was like, yeah, you're right. But I've already built up about 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers from America's Top Rifle. I don't want to lose these subscribers. In hindsight, it probably would have been better if I just started another YouTube channel. But I don't know. Was it really a bad idea? Because, I worked hard to get those subscribers and migrating them over. In fact, my interests changed. So it was camping, it was shooting, it was hunting. And then I moved it into like tools. I was starting to get some views with tools, but that's not 100% what I want to do. I want to use those tools. I want to use those tools to race. I want to use those tools to work on my truck. And then I started getting affiliate, getting paid for it. And I was like, you know what, if I can get paid for this. And now I'm at a point where there are entirely too many competitors. And that's not a big deal. I think I have the ability and I have the backing to now get ahead of these guys, but monetizing isn't really what I want to do. I'll get to that in a second, but going back to what it is I want to do. For the last 2 years, I've been racing motorcycles, and I've kind of hit a point where I'm almost jaded. Yeah, I've seen the ugly side of how it's reared its head for motorcycle racing, and I'm going to take a hiatus of that for a second or two, and I'm going to get into something else.
Let me interrupt for a second. Yes, I'm taking a hiatus for when it comes to motorcycles next year. But instead of taking a full-blown nap, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be racing pit bikes. I'm going to be going overseas to Italy, Spain, Dubai with my race bikes. I'm not going to be going to Knock Hill.
If I were determined with motorcycle racing, I'd push through, but I don't need to be. Man. I can just take a step back and start surfing, fishing, or farming, I guess. I want to kind of put my hand in every single pot to see which one brings me the most happiness. I don't want to be like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm watching a documentary on him where he is just stressed out. It's no longer fun to him, but he is so determined to make this next percentage, $1 billion. And that's how I was at the racetrack. I was just trying to get the next second off my time, getting faster on the bike, getting my knee down, getting more G's, more power, horsepower, torque, yada, yada, wheel spin. What I want to do next is I want happiness. And how I'm going to do that, I want to explain right here.
This is Cletus McFarland's YouTube channel, and this is my competitor. You wouldn't think so up front because he does different topics than me. But wait a second, what topics does he actually do? RC cars, the airplanes, helicopters, drag racing, engine builds, reviewing, all stuff automotive. So if you think about it, he's actually my main competitor. He's somebody I aspire to be just like. There's another channel, Dark Docs, and he's not my competitor. In fact, we're not even in the same realm, but he does something that actually kind of sparked an idea. He has multiple support channels, which have a similar topic to the main channel, but not quite. And what he's able to do is retain all of the subscribers who are interested in basically this one broad topic. Here I am in my garage, my studio for Footage Factory. But it's not only that, it's also a studio for Amazon Associates as I unbox and review tools for product data. So I guess what I'm trying to say is try this idea on for size. I record videos for my wife who show jumps, takes horses to show jumping events. I don't care, I could care less. As soon as I'm done recording, I give it to my wife and she puts it on Facebook or TikTok or whatever. So as soon as I'm done with these videos, what should I do? I don't care about horses. But why don't I put these videos on YouTube for somebody who does like horses? Because I'm pretty sure at some point in time, there'll be maybe a company who would like to purchase these videos for, aren't there companies out there that do that? Aren't there companies that take footage about anything and just use it for whatever platform they have? I guess what I'm trying to say, instead of me making a video to resale to somebody else, why don't I make a video, one video, and instead of using it on one platform, use it on 2 or 3? I could give a whole bunch of different examples of, let's say, this motorcycle, the value of this motorcycle, make it for a financial channel about appraising things, make it for Footage Factory, make it for a motorcycle track channel. But this idea of using one video and squeezing as much juice out of it as I can, it's how did I phrase it? It's now that I've breathed life into this idea, it's actually implementing it in a simple way. I got notes. So when I first got this idea, I thought to myself, my main channel's name's Footage Factory. Why don't I name every other channel like Truck Factory or Plane Factory, Gaming Factory, Mustang Factory, Skyline Factory? And that's still an idea I might play with. But here is a visual example of what I'm trying to do. Footage Factory in the middle. Every other channel around it supports it. Or some channels just go off in their own direction because they're a great idea. And then I could say, hey, this is Footage Factory. Be sure to watch horse vids. If your wife likes horses, hey, this is Footage Factory. I have a financial channel. Hey, this is Footage Factory. The possibilities are endless. Big major channels do it. You have Cletus McFarland, like I was talking about earlier. He has a secondary channel. Now, why did he do that? Did he think to himself, you know what? I already have viewers coming to my main channel. Even if I get a quarter of the viewers, that's a quarter of my income if I'm monetized. So with that being said, like I said earlier, turning the corner before the big guys do it, I'd like to jump on board and figure out what the next evolution of having multiple channels is.
I love motorcycles, racing motorcycles, but I love racing motorcycles a lot like how Bill Gates loves tennis. And Bill Gates has kind of jumped the line, jumped the queue as far as tennis is concerned, and he's practicing with the top level guys. And that's how it is on the racetrack with me. I jump the queue and I get a lot of hate from guys, and not because I'm better, but because I have better equipment than them. And these guys will do everything in their power to sabotage my fucking game. Now, Brian, I really appreciate that after reaching out and paying for your services, you reviewed my YouTube channel and told me all the things that you think I need to work on. In the next few weeks, there's another guy who has a YouTube channel who's coming to my house to help me install brake components on my 65 Mustang. About maybe 10 years ago, was it 10 years ago? When my channel was America's Top Rifle, I met these other like-minded gun nuts and we went shooting and we had a great time. And after taking all of these ideas together, I remember originally I was talking about how the channel was monetized. It would be so great if I could make $1 million a year with my Footage Factory. Yeah, it'd be great, it'd be done, huh? If it was between making $1 million or bringing in like-minded people who can help with a vision. Elon Musk, you have Sergey Brin, you have all of these guys who bring in the engineers to help grow their company. The CEO, the SEO, the marketing guy. Who do I have? Well, I don't know yet, but I think that's the untapped magic of YouTube. For starters, I have you. You review my channel. In fact, I imagine you have a vested interest in my channel and probably hope that it becomes successful. The guy who's going to come to my house, collaborate with me, I guarantee he has a vested interest. If I could get more like-minded people in who have their own YouTube channel, we don't need to necessarily grow Footage Factory. There could be a network of channels that grow. And I think that's the next evolution of YouTube right there. Let me try to connect the dots a little bit. If you go to Cletus McFarland, he has a whole team of people who do different things. He has an older gentleman who actually cleans the cars and buffs them, and he actually markets that guy. I forget his name. I bought the t-shirt. I should know the guy's name. That shines all of the cars. He even makes his own shine product. Sam, that's his name. Sam's Shine product. I can't really remember. Cletus's team includes a guy who does editing. He has his own mechanics. He even has his wife do some filming. His YouTube channel, if you look closely, is bigger than what's on the surface. Behind the scenes, he's selling merchandise. He's selling car parts. This guy is growing his YouTube channel beyond anything I could imagine. Now, up front, when you go to Cletus McFarland, you think this is just some petrol head, some gearhead that races, drag races in cars and whatnot. But this guy, he is pretty interesting. He went to school to be a lawyer, and he came out the other side racing boats, flying aircraft, helicopters, drag racing. He makes videos about RC cars and RC airplanes. This guy, he's got his hand in every single pot. And I'm not going to say he's my direct competitor, but this guy could flip a switch in the next few years and be just like Mr. Beast and have himself an empire where he is in the tens to hundreds of millions of dollars. This is the guy I look up to.
So what's the vision? Where is this thing going?
So the stated mission of the company is to make the world more open and connected, right? And the idea is that when you give people this ability to stay connected with all the people they care about, and you make it so that they can express new things about themselves or in communication with other people who they care about, then you just open up all these new possibilities. You make it so people can stay connected in ways that they couldn't before. They can learn about new things, whether it's events that are happening in the world or ability to organize new things or learn about new products or new movies or music that they want to listen to. It opens up a lot of new possibility to stay connected with all the people they care about.
Let me tell you right now, nobody that you care about or who cares about you has the same interest to the point where you should go into business with them. Nobody in your family, your friends, do not go into business with them. I'd rather go into business with a collaborator from YouTube than I would with my brother, my sister, my childhood friend, Mr. Beast. Now, I have no clue what it takes to get to his point, but I sure can tell you what I'd do if I was in his position. But before I can tell you what I would do if I were Mr. Beast, I need to actually get into his position. I mean, if you take somebody like Whistling Diesel and instead of him doing all the destruction that he does, well, he wouldn't get the views if he started putting it towards productive things. You know, if he was like Elon Musk making a company, because the amount of money that goes through him buying tanks and buying G-Wagons and buying Ferraris, he could make a business, build a factory, produce stuff, but he just destroys stuff and then he gets more views from doing that. Maybe if he turned a corner and say, you know what, instead of destroying things at some point, I'm going to start making things, he'd actually get some positive reinforcement. But then again, I guess he gets positive reinforcement as it is just for destroying the cars right now, you know? All right, let's stop beating around the bush. Step 1, make a YouTube channel/channels as big as possible. If Footage Factory is the umbrella and the supporting channels are underneath complementing it, let's say there's a channel I have that pushes a lot of views, but it's not the main goal, the end goal of what I'm trying to do. I don't care as long as I'm growing. If I knew I'd have 1 million subs fishing and I was able to convert 10% of those viewers to my other channels, that's more eyes in front of my channel. Step 2, use YouTube as a way to collaborate with other people to bring them on board with a very large project that I have coming up, both in terms of skill and potential money. But right now it's purely skill and the right people to get views. And step 3, well, let's just finish step 1 and 2. Because step 3 is so massive, I can't even prove to myself that I have the ability to grow a YouTube channel. So right now, I just want to focus on what's important. I think I'm going to make a part 2 video about this to really dial down both step 1 and 2 in preparation for what that massive step 3 is going to be. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's try to knock this out of the park.